Hey guys, hello, how's everybody doing? Today we're gonna do something a little bit different. The good people at Aivituvin, you can read it right there. They sent me this box, and what this is this is a small animal habitat, or I'm gonna call it a small tortoise habitat because that's what I'm gonna be using this for. As you can see, I have already done the knife work. The last time I used a knife on an unboxing, I think I scared everybody in my family, may have even broken several international peace treaties. So I've already done the knife work. You're not gonna have to bear witness to that this time. So let's go ahead. We're gonna start taking some of the stuff out. We're gonna see what this is about and assemble it. And we're gonna put some little tortoises in here. I'm excited. All right, styrofoam. You can see it's packed pretty well. Everything is nice and tight in here. It looks good. So the tricky part is pulling each one of these pieces out. It's in there so tight. All right, I'm gonna set this down. Okay, looks like a door. That's pretty neat. Set this guy here. And each thing, I believe that each thing is labeled with numbers or letters, maybe both. This appears to be the bottom right here. I may end up drilling this because I do want to leave this outside, so I want water to be able to penetrate this, so I may end up drilling a few holes in here to let it drain. More stuff. This is neat. Got a door. Hinges are already on these little doors. That's pretty cool. So they've already done that. This is neat. This looks like the little door they would go through with the little dinghy on it. I'm sure when I put it together, I'll figure out what that's for. There's some more. This has like a little glass top. Has their logo on it. Aivituvin. Aivituvin. I'm gonna say Aivituvin for the rest of this video. If I'm wrong and it's Aivituvin or I don't know. But we're gonna stick with that. Everything here seems to be made pretty well, very solid. Everything is also, one of the things that's nice is it's all pre-drilled, so the assembly is pretty easy. So that's gonna be really nice. It's not like you're having to, drill your own holes to countersink your hardware or anything like that. Here is the screen top. Very nice. The screen is actually, you can see, like sandwiched in between the two pieces of wood. Really solid. Nothing's getting through there. We have another of these that has this one has like a pane of glass on it. Oh, there's the instructions and the hardware. Awesome. Here we go. Instruction manual. You can see a diagram of what it's going to look like right there. All right, so generally I'm not an instructions guy. I'm like a typical man, and I like to just try and figure it out myself, but in the interest of time and doing things properly, and the fact that they gave me a really nice looking instruction manual, I think I'm gonna use it. Okay, tools required: Phillips screwdriver, drill, 2-person assembly. I'm by myself, man, and approximately 45 minutes. Okay, cool. So this is all pretty straightforward. I'm not going to assemble the lamp thing because this is going to be outside. So what's cool is you could actually put, I don't know if you can see that, if you have 2 of these, you can put them together. This is where it's going to be fun because I'm not like technical, I'm not a carpenter, I'm not a building guy. So if I can do this, you can do this too. So let's get started. All right, so one of the nice things about the instructions is each bit of hardware has a number assigned to it. So that's P1. And then I'm looking right now for P2 because the first things I'm going to be building are P2, 40mm screws, 11. That's these guys. So let's get started with those. But you can see everything is laid out really, really well. Really great common sense type instructions. Everything just, basic common sense. Just follow each step and it tells you, exactly how to assemble each thing in each step as you go until it is fully assembled and pretty cool. We're going to start screwing this in. So we've got our P2 screws. They go into the little countersunk spots. I'm gonna just use a simple screwdriver. Goes right in. Actually, that's really nice. It just goes right in. Check this out. Check how easily this just, you just simply take your screwdriver and your screw and it goes right in. Because they did all the hard work for you by countersinking all of these screws into the wood so that you're not sitting here struggling, you're just screwing. All right, so now we've got it framed. You can kind of see the overall shape, looking pretty good. And so now we're gonna follow the next step in the instructions, which is to put on the bottom. All right, so because I'm using this outdoors, I'm gonna actually make a few little holes in this bottom tray so that when it does rain, water drains out easily. This is a nice soft plastic, so it should drill pretty easily. Yep, 1, 2, 3. There, there. Now my neighbor's gonna mow the lawn while I'm trying to do this. Those are nice holes. I don't want water pooling up in here. I want it to be able to drain, so as you know, I keep everything outdoors. So outdoors means all types of weather. And the tortoises that are gonna be in here are gonna be little cherry head tortoises, so I want them to be able to be in the rain. They love the rain, they love moisture, they love humidity, but they also need their habitat to be able to drain and not fill up with water. Got some holes in here. Now we're ready to attach this to the frame. So I'm gonna attach this with 4 screws. It attaches the bottom. When you hear it squeak, you know it's snug. There we go. All right, so for the next part, we're gonna be lining up the roof and securing it with the hinges that are supplied. So we'll just insert our screws into each one of these hinges, and that will attach the opening roof doors. These are actually not countersunk, so it's a little trickier to make sure you're going in straight. So you want to take your time and really line this up. There we go. I will say these screws that come with it are absolute garbage. I'm glad I'm using a Phillips head and not like a power drill, because if I had that, I would just absolutely destroy these. The metal they are is like, I don't know if it's cheap metal, but it's soft. So you have to be patient, take your time, or you'll strip them out. So that's just one thing. You can actually open this, which I like. That's cool. You can open it and then you have access to the little hide, which I will use this as like a humid hide. And then the tortoises have that, so really cool. So let's finish it and we'll get this part done. These continue to be terrible. All right, so next I'm attaching latches with more of these tiny screws. I will say while I'm working on these latches that latches are actually a really nice touch. It is something that's important to have. If you were to make this yourself, a lot of people might overlook that, but it is important to, if you're away and you want to make sure your animals are safe, you want to make sure that, your tops are closed and that they're going to be safe for the animals inside. And I really like that. I like that it came with the latches and that it's not something I had to just, as an afterthought, go buy on my own. It shows a lot of forethought on their side. Now, Aivituvin does have a website, and you can find all of these habitats on there. They have a huge selection. They make a lot of different habitats for a lot of different animals, and all of them are really easy to put together like you see here. I think anybody can do it. You can actually take it and, your latch lines up. Now for one more, and that's it. All right, so I now have the entire Aivituvin setup assembled. Looks pretty good. There's that little kickstand that holds it open. So that's the whole setup. And then after I remove some of the plastic from the inside, we're gonna get this set up and get some tortoises in here. So for right now, we're just gonna take all this out. All right, so now is the fun part, and this is actually making it into a habitat. And so I'm gonna start by just spreading around some of this peat in here. I like to use peat as a base, and then we're gonna put some cypress mulch over it. And then in the hide section, same thing, peat, mulch, and then we're gonna add a little bit of sphagnum to retain some humidity. All right, so now I'm just mixing my mulch with my peat, and really, really nice. This keeps a nice level of moisture in here at all times. The tortoises like it. They also have the option, they can dig into it if they like. And it's nice moisture retaining substrate. And since I'm putting cherry heads in here, moisture and humidity is their friend. And so I'm gonna mix this up really good over in here. This is their humid hide area. It's enclosed, except for that door. But you know, it's overall pretty well enclosed. The other side has like the mesh top. This has the closed top. So this is really gonna help hold in humidity, and it's gonna be where they like to sleep overnight. And you know, for these tortoises, this will last, you know, the 2 cherry heads I'm putting in here, this will last them a nice long time, all the way up until they're about 4 or 5 inches, maybe 6 inches. And once they're that big, you know, I move them into a bigger enclosure. Okay, so now we're gonna take these small cherry head tortoises. I got these guys from my buddy Charlie Moorcroft, and we're gonna move them into their new home, the Aivituvin tortoise setup. And as you can see, this gives them plenty of room. They've got plenty of room to move around, a water dish. They've got their hide. They can go into their safe hide, which has, you know, again, it's got a lock on it, keeps them safe, and they can sleep in there at night. I can also close the screen lid, also has a latch on it. That will keep them safe as well. These guys will do great in here. As for right now, just want to watch them kind of get acclimated and let them enjoy their new tortoise habitat. I think this is great. All right, in closing, I would really like to say I like what Aivituvin has done here. They have created an easy to make tortoise setup that anybody can keep on a porch, on a patio. If you live in an apartment and you have that little porch that, you know, the little sliding doors, you can fit this guy on there and your tortoises can be happy and they can be safe. They can get some natural light. They can experience a little bit of weather, changes in humidity, all the things that they would experience in nature. I think that's great. I do think that this is best suited for young tortoises. As you can see, it's not particularly large. I would like to see them maybe over time create some larger habitats. Because this, you know, once these tortoises reach about 5 or 6 inches, it's going to start to get cramped in there. The entrance to this, you know, this hide here, I mean, they'll be able to go in and out of it for the next few years, but over time, these guys are really going to need more space. I like the quality of the materials. I like the design. I like having a nice spacious hide. I like having an open area. I'm really happy that this comes with the latches. I can put this down, latch it, and I can feel like the tortoises are safe in there. I would say the overall quality materials I think is pretty good. I do think that some of the screws were absolutely horrible. Some of the screws, if you screw them too hard, they're gonna strip. So I would recommend just take your time when you assemble this. It can all be done with a Phillips head screwdriver. Just make sure you take your time because it is easy to strip some of those screws. But it all goes together. I mean, it says it takes 45 minutes. This probably took me maybe 20 or 25. Again, just take your time. I went through it pretty quickly because it was all pretty common sense. I don't think this is their most complex setup. And I wanna see how well this holds up to weather, like extreme weather. Like, you know, this is gonna go through the summer. So I wanna see how the wood and the finish on the wood adapts to the rain and to the heat. They did include with this like a light stand. I didn't include that because this will probably never be used inside. This is going to be an outdoor setup, so I didn't really see a point in putting that on there if I'm never going to use it. My overall impressions of this setup, I would have to say on a scale of 1 to 10, the build quality, I would give a solid 8.5. Everything is well made. It's easy. Everything is goes together really well. If you can put together IKEA furniture, if you can breathe and follow instructions, you can make this thing. In terms of
housing different species, I would also give this about a 7 or an 8. This can house just about most species, but they all have to be small or they all have to be young. I wouldn't even put an adult eastern box turtle in here because that's a species that needs to wander. But using a little common sense, I think this is a great setup. Overall, I think it's a fantastic setup. I would give it about an 8.5 out of 10. I fully endorse it. You guys can find a link below to Aivituvin's website. They have a whole list of different enclosures, everything you need from turtles to chickens to rabbits, maybe elephants, who knows. It looks like they're building a lot of different enclosures and they build some really cool stuff, and you guys can do it yourself just like I did. If I can do it, you can do it, trust me. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you so much to Aivituvin for supplying me with one of your tortoise houses, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Peace.